Central with me, Jude Sanat. What you're watching is India's first and only business news bulletin to put the spotlight on South India as I bring you a list of everything making news from the region. Before we slip right into today's bulletin, let's take a look at the headlines we're tracking at this hour. Our top story first, a political face-off over the Wayanad tunnel landslide has begun. Kerala's leader of the opposition, Pinarayi Vijayan, has accused the state government of distorting facts surrounding the tragedy, alleging that it is trying to shift the narrative instead of accepting responsibility. Vijayan questioned the government's version of events and demanded greater transparency over the circumstances that led to the landslide. The remarks come after the Kerala government described the landslide as a quote-unquote man-made disaster, blaming unscientific dumping of excavated earth and alleged lapses by the contractor at the tunnel project site. Now, the incident has claimed 5 lives, with rescue operations continuing in the affected area. The tragedy has now snowballed into a political flashpoint too, with the opposition seeking accountability over the project's execution and the government insisting that construction-related negligence rather than natural causes alone triggered the disaster. Meanwhile, Times Network spoke to Wayanad's district collector Meghashri over the search and rescue operations from the site of the tragedy. Let's listen in to how the conversation went.
How many bodies have been recovered? What's the total tally?
So total we have recovered 5 bodies so far. 3 are still missing.
3 are still missing. And what is the challenges you're facing, ma'am, as far as the...
Today there was rainfall and it was not very conducive for operation. But today it is getting better and NDRF team is very confident and they are doing the operation in full swing.
Ma'am, total can you give us a count of how many are injured, how many were dead, and out of which now they're missing? How many have been bodies have been recovered? 9
people have been safely rescued and they are continuing in hospital. 4 of them have been discharged. 2 of them are in ICU. So 5 people are declared dead and 3 are still missing.
No, the company has claimed that they are followed all the rules and procedures. There's a letter of...
I have no comments on those.
There's a letter of yours of 20th June.
Yeah. On the search and rescue. We are focusing on search and rescue as well.
There's a letter of yours of 20th June, ma'am, saying
I
that...
have no comments on this.
Moving on to Bengaluru next, Karnataka Chief Minister D.K. Shivkumar has confirmed that the city's long-awaited second airport is set to come up in the southern part of the city. The government, we're told, has zeroed in on South Bengaluru as its preferred region for the project, saying that the move is aimed at ensuring balanced growth while easing pressure on the existing Kempegowda International Airport in the north. Government officials have said that the final location for the proposed airport will be chosen based on technical feasibility, land acquisition costs, and the need to minimize displacement of villages. Bengaluru's long-awaited second airport is expected to boost connectivity for South Bengaluru and support the city's expanding tech ecosystem. This even as Bengaluru has also steadily become one of the country's busiest aviation hubs. On to some tech news next. There's a new kid on the South India's AI block. Kerala and Singapore-based IBS Group is betting big on the next phase of AI. The company has launched Naviq Technology, a standalone vertical AI firm that will focus exclusively on the global travel industry, serving sectors like aviation, airports, hospitality, cruise, and logistics. Naviq will begin operations with 16 offices worldwide, and the company plans to scale its workforce to more than 5,000 professionals over the next 5 years. Naviq's Kerala base in Kochi, meanwhile, is expected to be inaugurated later this month by Chief Minister V.D. Satheesan. Early today, I got the chance to catch up with V.K. Matthews, founder and executive chairman at IBS Group, on the launch and a separate vertical AI company and what it means for the group. Here's a slice of that conversation.
So there are two reasons why we wanted to establish a vertical AI company for the travel sector. When I say vertical, the AI company means it is only for the travel sector.
Right.
And it's an AI specialist. And we position ourselves as a trusted partner in this AI journey with our customers.
Right.
And our objective, our goal, is to help or use AI for our customers and help our customers use AI to improve their revenue and market share. That means value amplification. Number two, improve their efficiencies. That means productivity and cost of operations. And also improve their own customer relationship. These are the three. That means it has got three dimensions. One, amplifying the outcomes, the value. Number two is improving the productivity, their own productivity. And number three, how do you create a differentiated customer experience for them? This is how we are, and that's the reason why. Today, there isn't any company in the world which is actually specializing on this. For the travel sector, on AI, there isn't anybody who is doing exactly that, and that's the space that we will be able to cover well. And the reason why we think that we are uniquely positioned is because of deep domain expertise, our decade-long customer experience, our customer relationships, and again, our access to the huge amount of operational and commercial data, which of course we don't own it, it belongs to the customer, but we will be able to make use of that data for creating intelligence which they should be able to monetize. So that's the relevance, and this is what we have done. It's a major investment, and it's a much bigger scale of an operation. We expect this business to grow to about $500 million kind of size in the next 5 years plus. That's what our expectation is, because it's not a new field for us. We know this field very well. And so therefore the investments are also as high.
Right. So I have to ask you then, given the fact that what you have rolled out is, for the moment you're launching its Kerala base in Kochi, but you will have 16 global centers across the world. IBS itself is both Singapore and Thiruvananthapuram based in a sense. What is the capital that you will be deploying from the IBS Group towards setting up the business?
So as I said initially, the capital that we are investing in this to start with is over 200 crores of capital that we are actually investing. And our spend on this will be about $500 million over 5 years.
Right, okay. And I think a big part of the business that you will actually go about aiding and helping push is the aviation business itself. Like you mentioned, IBS already has expertise in this space. But speaking of AI in aviation itself, what is the percentage of airlines that have actually made that transition to AI beyond just pilots as well and using it across the system? And which are the functions today that you see the biggest AI investment in as far as the airline space is concerned?
So at the moment, if you really look at a lot of people talk about AI, it's more about the excitement or anxiety of AI coming in their business. But the real use of AI by airlines or the travel sector is still as low as any other sector. And I would say, going by the categorization of the revenues which companies make, which are AI linked, if I take that as it is reported worldwide and reported, it's still less than 5%. It's less than 5%. So that means we are yet to really use AI very beneficially at scale,
right,
that does not mean the potential. The potential is still there. Everybody is trying to find their own feet how to utilize AI.
Right.
And it's also, we must recognize that it's also a little bit of a misused or misinterpreted.
Okay.
In many occasions, deterministic computing outcomes are said as AI outcomes, but need not be necessarily the same.
Right.
So that's the first part. So the usage is not that high, but I would put it as somewhere around, if I look at the IT services, there are two parts. One is software and IT services,
right,
leaving the AI compute infrastructure and the device and all that. Now, software is about 1.4 trillion worldwide on technology spent, and IT services is about 1.87, which is about 30%.
Right.
Within that, I can say whatever is categorized as IT revenues is, or IT's, AI spend is probably about less than 5%. And that too, equipping people to undertake this transformation.
Right.
Not really the transformation. So there is a whole long way to go.
Absolutely, and lots of headroom for growth, more importantly,
Huge
given
headroom.
the fact that adoption is so small, at least at this time and place. But, I also have to ask you, while we're talking about AI, and many CEOs like talking about it in a sense in the context of adoption, what's the business case here? Because the fact is that while AI adoption, everyone likes to do it, in the airline sector itself for that matter.
I can answer that.
Is it about cutting costs? Is it about improving profitability? Is it about reducing costs on account of delays? Where is the AI use case, Mr. Matthews?
The AI use case which will be adopted very fast would be the one which improves productivity and improving the cost.
Right.
Because that's something which the CFO can measure and people will be able to approve. And that is truly real. Because in many areas, you should be able to, using AI, you should be able to improve your cost of operation. For example, take the case of a travel company whose reservation services would require a whole lot of people to manage the queues and special services and things like that.
Right.
With the help of agentic AI and with all the data underneath, AI should be able to actually significantly reduce. Personalization is another area where you come from the revenue generation part. So can an airline or can a travel company sell more because you sell to the customer what the customer wants rather than what you have, for which you have to know the customer. And AI is absolutely the right vehicle, instrument for you to know the customer and respond to it. So in that case, you are coming from the value increase side or the consumption amplification side, whereas the other one example that I've actually talked, we will be able to, and the beauty is that because we are from the domain and we understand the problems of the airline, we will be able to identify at least 50 use cases, business use cases where we can. For example, how do you reduce the delays on departure? How do you improve the on-time performance?
Right.
How do you manage disruptions better? These are all real use cases that you will be able to.
Absolutely. Let's zoom back a little. The fact is that India is one of the world's fastest growing aviation markets, especially if you look at the pace at which airports are being expanded and more airports are being built. Most recently, Bengaluru's second airport, for instance, all set to come up in South Bengaluru. At least that's what the Chief Minister says. AI, as far as Indian aviation is concerned, what are the big areas of opportunity that you could possibly find as far as Indian aviation is concerned, and what are the growth prospects in this space? And more importantly, where do you see the most deployment and growth and revenue potential? Is it going to be aircraft, airports, maybe generic travel? Where do you see the biggest use case for AI as far as Indian aviation is concerned?
So this is something which is very fundamental about Indian civil aviation and Indian civil aviation potential. On the one side, because of the size and also the growth of Indian economy, the propensity to travel is increasing and therefore the market truly grows. But you have to really look at, if you really look at the signs of aviation business in India, it is the exact reversal of what happened to IT industry.
Right.
For IT industry, the cost is Indian and the revenues are overseas. In this case, exactly the opposite. The revenues are Indian and all the costs of consequence are international.
Right.
So, for example, the aircraft leasing, financing, MRO costs, fuel costs is much higher than any other place, whereas the average segment fare in the country is at least 30% less, 30 to 40% less than the global. So survival of Indian civil aviation from an airline's point of view, as demonstrated by the bankruptcy of all the airlines during the first phase of liberalization of 15 years, it clearly indicates that India's priority in aviation is more about improving the cost of operation and improving the operational efficiencies. Right. So therefore, AI will first look at that because that's the biggest pain point. Now, how do we get our customers to spend more on travel? How do I increase from that average 6,000 rupees to 7,000 rupees? How do I generate more per customer is the most important thing. And this is where, if somebody knows that I am traveling, and I'm traveling with a connection, and I've got a 3-hour connection, and if they would like to sell me something which I like, they will be able to. So I think it would be able to improve our revenue per customer and also improve the cost of operation. India has huge, huge potential, but again, we have to really look at our per capita income, our economic situation. Right. And how do we adapt and adopt technology for India is yet another thing to be addressed.
Absolutely. Everyone's talking about agentic AI these days as something to watch out for as far as, not just tech, but just routine operations is concerned, especially from an efficiency standpoint. As someone who's worked within aviation closely for a while now, which part of routine aviation activity, be it crew scheduling or disruption management, do you actually see or foresee being handled end-to-end by an AI agent?
So if you look at agentic AI, in the overall scheme of things, if you look at an airline enterprise system, like flight operations or passenger reservations, take any of those, the agentic AI will come at the system of interaction at the top level. Right. There are 3 layers where the customers interact with a computer system or a manual system. Number 2 is there is a layer of deep logic, and there is a layer that we call the system of records. So where the agentic AI will come is at the top level. So for instance, that's what I was saying, a central reservation cell of Air India with 100 people working 3 shifts. There we will be able to significantly improve the productivity, which will also lead to job displacements. So that's one area there you will look at how this can be implemented. So the good or the bad thing is that the approvals for implementation, adoption of AI will first come on improving the cost.
All right. Now, let's look into your crystal ball. You've launched in 2026. In 3.5 years from now, in 2030, what do you think will be the biggest indicator of Naviq's success? Do you think it's going to be pace of AI deployment? Is it going to be revenues? Is it going to be, let's say, new products and new technologies and new agentic AIs itself that will actually determine how well the company performs?
So, in some ways, its revenue growth is kind of an indication of the relevance and significance of what you do. You are an AI specialist. You're positioning as an AI specialist, and for the travel sector. So, in summary, if the company is growing as we project and it's a steep growth, that itself is a measure. But for that to fructify, to happen, obviously the adoption, how many of the major players, how much of benefit we've been able to deliver, all of that in sum total will be our revenue growth. And again, we have to also look at how profitably we'll be able to grow. Right. Because AI, when it is implemented, when it is basically churning all of those, could be expensive too. So we have to really make sure that it's a balanced game.
In a major relief for senior DMK leader and former Tamil Nadu Minister Sendil Balaji, the Madras High Court has granted both him and his brother R.V. Ashok Kumar anticipatory bail in the alleged MLA poaching case. Now, the case in question relates to accusations that an attempt was made by both Sendil Balaji and his brother to lure a TVK legislator with a 35 crore rupee offer to switch sides. The court granted conditional bail while directing the two to cooperate with the ongoing investigation. Police had earlier issued summons to both men as part of the probe into the alleged horse trading attempt, which has triggered a major political confrontation in Tamil Nadu. Staying with more court action, the Madras High Court has also issued notice to Tamil Nadu Chief Minister Vijay on a batch of election petitions challenging his victories from the Perambur and the Trichy East Assembly constituencies in this year's Assembly elections. The court has sought a response from the Election Commission of India, with replies to be filed within the next 3 weeks. The petitions were filed by defeated DMK candidate R.D. Sekar and 3 others, alleging violations of election laws, including the alleged use of children during campaigning in contravention of Election Commission guidelines. The High Court has only admitted the petitions for hearing and issued notices. It has not expressed any view on the merits of these allegations. Meanwhile, consumers in Tamil Nadu will have to pay more for milk and curd from today, with private dairy companies increasing retail prices by 4 rupees to a litre. This is the second price hike by private players this year and comes amid rising procurement costs and an acute shortage of raw milk. Industry bodies say lower milk production across several southern states has tightened supplies, while higher feed, transport and operational costs have added to this pressure. The price hike, remember, only applies to private dairy brands, with the state-run Arvind Dairy keeping its prices unchanged for the moment. The Karnataka government's 50% concession scheme for pending traffic e-challans has received an overwhelming response. In just 18 days, motorists have settled over 8.82 lakh pending traffic violation cases, helping the state collect more than 26.37 crore rupees in fines. The one-time amnesty scheme, which came into effect on the 21st of June, was introduced to clear a massive backlog of unpaid e-challans, reduce the burden on courts and encourage motorists to settle long pending dues. The government has urged vehicle owners to make use of the concession before the scheme ends, after which the full penalty and other legal provisions will once again apply. Switching focus back to tech next, NASSCOM President Rajesh Nambiar has hailed Tamil Nadu and Kerala's newly formed AI ministries. In a chat with ET Now, the NASSCOM leader told me that he had the chance to meet the chief ministers of both new governments recently in Kerala and Tamil Nadu, and was excited about the opportunity that an AI ministry brings with it. Nambiar also said that NASSCOM was open and willing to partner with both Kerala and Tamil Nadu to help both governments scale the AI and tech ladder. Here's a slice of that conversation that I had with the NASSCOM president. Barely 2 months now since Kerala has had a new state government, as has Tamil Nadu. Both governments announcing a first-of-its-kind Ministry of AI in both states as well. What is the opportunity here, Rajesh? Do you think there is a canvas that's wide open for state governments to leverage on AI and look to make transformational change thanks to the technology itself, and how so?
Absolutely. I had the privilege and the opportunity to meet both the chief ministers over the last several days. I think we had great conversations. The conviction from both the governments have been very, very good in terms of what they need to do with AI. Look, AI is not only around the technology sector alone. As I mentioned before, I think they can use AI for governance, for instance. They could use AI for healthcare, ensuring that the public is served the right way using AI. I think leveraging AI is going to be such a critical component of the state governments as we move forward. And I believe that we as NASSCOM would support them in whichever way they want us to support them, because as you know that we don't have an agenda, we don't have an axe to grind, but we are going to be working with each of the state governments and ensuring that we support them with whatever they need to implement AI. Opportunity is just phenomenal in terms of how they could leverage AI in terms of everything that they're going to be doing now. Right. So I believe that both governments that you mentioned are very eager to get this started, and they all have their own plans, and we will work with them to make sure that we are helping them.
Forget cash transactions. This one's worth its weight in coins. A man in Telangana has bought his brand new Hero Splendor Plus using thousands of 10 rupee coins. Konde Raghupati, a resident of the state's Yadadri Bhuvanagiri district, went viral after buying his dream Hero Splendor Plus motorbike worth 1.1 lakh rupees after paying the entire amount in 11,000 10 rupee coins. Konde and his family had patiently saved for the purchase since 2017. Now, the purchase itself took place at a local showroom where 5 employees spent nearly 4 hours counting the coins before handing over the motorcycle. Well, on that note, it's a wrap from all of us here in South Central. Thanks so much for watching. We'll be back soon with more news, stories and updates from South India. For the moment, it's goodbye from us.